So today we are talking a little bit about what the hell happened in the CBA meeting yesterday. The likelihood of this is that we got like not there was no deal made obviously, but like something of like we're getting close to a resolution. I don't know what that resolution is going to be. I absolutely have no idea what that resolution is going to be. And I think none of us do either. We don't know how far, we know they're apart. We don't know how far they are apart. We don't know how, like what way these negotiations went. We don't know what way the players were feeling. We don't know what way Kathy was feeling. We don't know what way Terry Carmichael Jackson was feeling. And all we can kind of get as far as vibes are concerned, like you can obviously get what you can get from Annie, from Alexa Philippou, all these people. But like, let's be real. You kind of see what was going on a little bit. I didn't hear anything too crazy from like Kathy and Terry Carmichael Jackson yesterday. The players left, and I think it's one of those things where a lot of people are kind of reading too much into this. I just think they didn't come to a conclusion. Like, I don't know. Like, I think the players would come out and say something if it went badly. At the end of the day, the players would come out and say something if everything went badly. At the same time, I think nobody's leaking anything. They all know the seriousness of what's happening right now. And this is from Venom, who was out there. And it was just a hilarious situation all around. Like, it's weird. Like, I always say this when it comes down to like stuff like this. As far as like the media and stuff are concerned, there were like outside that was everybody. Outside that was everybody. There was the stands masquerading as media. There was the media, and then there was the streamer who was live streaming it all. Like, that's one of those things. I'm like, it was everyone. Absolutely everybody like type of person was there. And it is funny because it's like, normally I would always consider, say, like the likes of myself, even Venom, we're kind of reacting a lot of the time to what the I would say almost like the primary sources, the likes, the credential media are saying, and Venom's after getting himself involved in this. And I'm like, oh yeah, good to see that. But he said here, after being there all night, before I go to bed, I want to say it didn't sound like the meeting ended well. Executives, directors, and owners left in that order, most leaving through the side exit. Like, the players left first. Then there was like a 5-minute gap between Terry Carmichael Jackson leaving. And by the way, Terry Carmichael Jackson and Kathy leaving, there was like a 5-minute gap. So they left around the same time. And it said here, hope I'm wrong, Kathy told us they'd be there in the hotel for a while and was caught leaving minutes later in a rush, leaving 2 of her people behind. I had to tell them where Kathy ran off to. Good night or good morning. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. Nothing productive. I just mean this. Nothing productive was going to get done at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what had been done up to then. Like, they left, the players left at 3 o'clock in the morning. I can guarantee you nothing productive was done past midnight. Nothing productive was getting done. So I'm not going to read too much into this from Venom, saying that, like, oh, Kathy said, they'd be there a while and they left. Like, at the end of the day, none of them wanted there to be media around. Like, Kathy wasn't taking questions. None of them wanted that. None of them wanted there to be media. They just wanted to, trying to iron this out. And there was. And it's always going to happen. Like, it's not the fault of anyone that was there, that people were around. Like, that's the job of the media. They were all doing their job. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's it is, like, I think we're at the very end. Like, there's been a year and a half and a 12-hour meeting. Very, very clearly, it's close to there being a deal or no deal situation. The only issue is that the problem is that not everyone, like, they can't come to a deal. They realistically can't come to a deal with, without, first of all, consulting the players. And second of all, you can't have a deal without consulting the ownership as a whole. And they're not there. Like, even from Annie here, No deal yet where things stand. What was said by Terry Carmichael Jackson. Both of them were like, oh yeah, it's positive. And Kathy was like, well, it needs to be sorted soon. And Terry Carmichael Jackson was just saying everything was positive. And I'm like, nothing was said. Nothing was said to the media. Nothing of note was said. There's nothing to read into. There's nothing to read into these players leaving. At the end of the day, I've heard people being like, look, that people were a little like obviously what you call it, looking, they were saying players and people around were looking pissed. Yeah, no shit, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, it was 4 o'clock in the morning. So for me, I'm just there and I'm like, it doesn't mean anything. Like, it really doesn't mean anything at all here. Like, you've got a scenario here where both sides know the severity of not going to a deal. You had, like, there was weird situations. Like, I'm not going to make a video about it. The freelancer who claimed to be an ESPN worker, and I looked at his Twitter bio and he had every single publication in his bio. Like, it was like worked for 75 different things. And I'm like, I don't know what link he had to ESPN, but like, he basically came out and implied that Caitlin Clark fans are going to be the reason why there's going to be a lockout because they're going to do it out of spite. And he didn't say those words. He very much implied that, like, and he also very much implied Caitlin Clark hates her fans. And I'm like, I don't think that it's like, and again, I think there might be a fucking subsection of the fans that Caitlin Clark dislikes. Absolutely. Everyone dislikes a subsection of their fans. Anyone that's any sort of a public figure. Heck, I could be in that fucking subsection for all I know. But at the end of the day, like, implied that Caitlin as a whole, like, very much implied that as a whole, Caitlin doesn't like her fans. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. That was the Stan posing as media person. It was fucking mad. But yeah, like, I was just watching Venom stream. Oh man, I'm up at 7 o'clock in the morning watching this. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? But look, nothing's being done. Nothing's being done. We've gotten nowhere, realistically. At the end of the day, you would hope that we'd be in a better situation. We thought maybe something would be done, but realistically nothing was ever going to be done. I would say that it is like the players were gone. I would say in general that we're very close to a resolution. We are very close to a resolution one way or another. And the resolution, hopefully, it is that there's a season, even a delayed season. Let's be real, like, a season delayed from the 8th of May to the 8th of June isn't the end of the world. Albeit a season that entirely coincides with the World Cup is not ideal for casual fans. It is not ideal, especially in America. It is not ideal. But yeah, look, it is, I think overall, we'll have a conclusion one way or another. And it's going to be mad to see what happens because, let's be real, like, first of all, the WNBA may not exist if there is a lockout that lasts the season. It may not exist because the owners aren't just going to give the players more money. So even if it exists, if it does not exist, it's going to be very weird because it'll never be the same. Like, everything, all the momentum that women's basketball is going to be gone. Because let's be completely real, you're not going to, like, unrivaled with the, you know, traveling tour when loads of people were watching. Reminds me a little bit of AEW. Do you guys remember when AEW started and they were selling out these big arenas as a novelty? When it no longer becomes a novelty, what happens then? That's the real question. So anyway, yeah, that's pretty much it. What do you guys think is going to happen? I have no idea. I'll see you guys.